Ball game, rivalry game, very close all the way down to the end, last possession. And disappointing we didn't get the win, but I'm very, very proud of our players' efforts, as I told them in there. I'm very, very proud of our defense. I mean, that was an elite performance offensively. I thought we ran the ball really well when we had to get back in the pass game. I think that, again, we did some things that we hadn't done before in terms of created some of Demery's strengths to get out of the pocket and do some other things like that, but we didn't execute well enough. So it came down to execution. That's what it came down to, because we had guys open. We had guys down the field open for big plays. We either dropped the ball or overthrew it. Plays were there to be made. We just didn't make them, and ultimately it comes down to me and the leadership of this football team, and we didn't finish. But it's unfortunate, we've been in every single game all the way down to the end, and some we finish, some we haven't. And in this league, you've got to find a way to finish, and these guys are learning some valuable lessons for the future. But like I told those guys in there, I apologize to the seniors that we couldn't get them a pig for their senior year, but they did everything they could to get it. I'm so proud of their efforts and how hard they fought. That was not the issue in terms of effort. But again, they hit us with a few big plays, and I give a guy like Justice Harris a lot of credit. He should not be playing right now, but he's playing. And that's a compliment to him, because I think he's tough enough and good enough to play. And he's going to fail and grow. But I'm proud of his response. He's tough as nails. And I'd go back out there all over again with him in the same place, just because of how hard he fought. And our team's learning a lot of valuable lessons. Seniors are learning a lot of valuable lessons for the rest of their life. And our youthful football team is learning valuable lessons to create that armor, that leather skin, those scars for the future of our program. But I'm very proud of our coaches and our players. I was inspired by the way they played. And they don't let their deficiencies affect them. The next guy in plays their tail end off. And I'm proud of them for that. Just we didn't execute well enough. Very simple. And that falls back on me.
Twice inside the 15 in the first quarter, you feel that where the game changed for you?
Well, that early, I don't think it changed. The one thing going for it on fourth down, I'll do it all over again. Perfect play. I mean, great play call. He's open. He just turns too early and starts backpedal. Just keep running, And, as a play, perfect play call. We catch that touchdown, and, he's open. We just don't hit it, But, again, I'm not going to limit those, because I don't think the players can do that. I mean, you got to let them go, And I would call that all over again. We didn't get it right after that. We get an interception. So, that's kind of washed off the board. The other one, the interception, it's a ball that's tipped. Balls get tipped down there, and we got to flatten off our route more. We don't. He tips the ball, and they get an interception. So it's unfortunate. But, again, that's what I mean by the execution. The plays were there to be made. We just didn't execute them. Ty Johnson had one down the sideline, and, ball's a little out of his reach. Catchable, not catchable, debatable. But again, we hit that. Different story. 3, 4 others the same way. So again, it's one of those games. We're just not we're not at that point in our culture to play that to not play close to perfect and win. We've got to be able to play pretty close to perfect at a lot of areas on offense because of the inexperience and a lot of other things. So. But again, I'm proud of the way they fought.
What do you think you need to see in the passing game moving forward right now?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily something you have to see. What we have to do is continue to build around what our players are showing that they're capable of doing and what they're not capable of doing. That's the sign of really good coaches. And every week we've done that. We've highlighted everybody's strengths, the best of our ability, right, up until this point. Like I said, a lot of pass plays are open. A lot of things we have are there. It's either protection breaks down or, the ball's overthrown or we drop it or things like that. So we're just not executing, but, they're doing everything the right way. It's just having the capability of making those plays we've struggled in. So.
What was your view of the passing interference call against Justice?
Well, they see what they see and they call it. I see what I see, and I talk to them about it. I think it's a big call. It's a big call in that situation, right? It's a big call, and they saw it, so they called it. That's all I got to say about that one.
Your offensive line, they gave up a little pressure tonight. Is that more on what Iowa was doing?
Well, that's one of the best defensive fronts we faced all year. I mean, their edges are 6'8", 6'7". And we got a true redshirt freshman over there at tackle and a freshman next to him guard, you know. And they know that. They're long. But I thought, I'll be honest with you, I know there was some pressure. I thought they held their own. You know, I think there's times where the pressure is coming in on us and we can step up and keep our composure. When we don't, we just kind of panic and get out. Then there's times where we really get beat and we step up and think we have to keep our composure, right? And then we stay in there too long. So, but again, that comes from the experience of live reps in a game, which we haven't accumulated with these quarterbacks yet. And then they're getting better. I thought Demery played way better this week than he did last week. Now, again, we didn't win the game. And did he have a winning performance? Probably not. But I thought he played better this week than he did last week. I thought he controlled the game. I thought he was really good in the pocket. I think he's going to be able to continue to evolve and see things that were there that maybe he didn't see or gave up on too early. But I thought he held his own in the pocket. I thought he changed. I thought he changed and grew. He didn't look like a panic, jumpy quarterback tonight. I thought he held his own. He was leading the football team. I think he took major strides tonight, but not enough strides to win the football game. But, you know, we'll just continue to take it step by step.
Does your guys' performance defensively have more credence given the fact that Justice is playing, that Ken Handy-Holly's playing, Kuhnle?
Well, I think that gets into, like, excuses, and that gets into, like, why we can't or why we haven't. This is college football, and everybody has reasons. I mean, North Carolina right now is 1-8, and they have all the reasons why they're 1-8. We're 4-4. I mean, depth issues hurt you. Injuries hurt you. We've had a lot of depth issues, and all these. Those are all excuses. We didn't win the football game. Whoever I put on the field, I'm responsible for making sure that they are good enough to go win the football game, and we didn't do that tonight. That all falls back on me. And these kids are giving everything they possibly have. But again, I thought Justice Harris played his tail end off. He got beat on a few plays, and they went after him a little bit here and there. They know that. But again, I thought he held his own. He always came back and responded, made some plays. But it goes for all of it. And Ken Handy-Holly made some nice plays in there too. You know, Nate Umler, I thought, played really well at some times up front as a freshman. And, you know, so we're growing. We're learning. You know, and that's what I can ask of them. They're taking the right steps in the right direction.
How important was that strip there at the end of the first half by Handy-Holly going to
Well, that just shows. I mean, he's a freshman, and he's very opportunistic. He's taking the culture of our defense, and he's applying it, right? He's not down until they blow the whistle, so get that ball out. And I'm very proud of the way he's been playing. Again, been thrown in the fire. Should he be playing right now? No. These aren't the true freshmen that we threw in there and said, oh, my gosh, you're the best one that we've ever seen, so you're going to start the beginning of the year. These are freshmen that are being forced into playing due to depth and injury issues, right? And but that's okay. And Ken Handy-Holly's playing. I think Ken Handy-Holly's playing at a really, really good level, right? I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm glad he's playing the way he is. And that gets a credit to Mo Lindquist, our defensive back coach. I mean, he's unbelievable. If any coach on our staff could sit there and be down in the dumps, woe is me, it would probably be Mo. Well, I mean, we had the from the suspensions, from the injuries to from Chenault being out to Keandre Thomas being out to Antoine Winfield Jr. being out, and then have all the attrition you had. I mean, Mo could be sitting there going, I'm just going to wait till I get some guy. He coaches harder than anybody. And he is all over the field in practice. He's all over the field in games. I mean, Coach Nickel, he holds him back the entire time. That's the one you have to hold back because he's constantly coaching those young guys. And he is doing a fabulous job at it. I know it's not the progress that everybody thinks they should see or expect right now, but we're getting there. And I think there's a ton of signs when you look at this game and you look at the last few games and you look at where we're headed and what we have. The future is incredibly bright. That's what my message was in there. I said the last 4 games, incredibly bright. Next year, incredibly bright. 5 years down the road, incredibly bright. And that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to put our oar back on the water and continue to row forward.
Were there any seniors in there that you can tell were really broken up about losing the peg again?
Well, I never get into like agains. This year has nothing to do with last year. We take an individual basis, year in, year out. This is our team. This is a different team. This is our chance. This is our opportunity. Next year we'll have their opportunity. But of course, they're hurt. They're emotional. They should be. I'm hurt. I'm emotional. This is a rivalry game. But this is what rivalry games look like. That's why it's a rivalry game. If it was swayed one way or another and it was 110-6, it wouldn't be a rivalry. It goes back and forth. There's runs and there's streaks and there's all types of things like that. But again, this is only one of them. And we'll regroup, we'll learn, and we'll continue to push forward.
You guys have any more for Coach? Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Roll the boat, Sky Mile. Go Gophers. Thanks, everybody, for coming, making the trip.